Both the males and the females grow horns. The horns are slanted toward the rear of the animal, nature's way of protecting it from hooking its horns on the lower branches of the tree. So now you are looking at animals which you cannot see in the wild. East African bongos. Folks are known as prey animals. That means they're eaten by other animals. And the animals that do the eating are called predators. Some folks think predators are the bad guys of the wild because they kill other animals. Actually, they're a very valuable means of population control and the survival of the fittest, which is the wild. Take a look to the left, up on the rocks, then to the right, up on the rocks. You'll see two kitty cats. Believe me, those are not the kind of kitties you want to take home with you. They are predators. They're called caracal cats. Caracal in Turkish means black ears. The caracal has long legs for running and jumping and can actually leap 8 feet into the air and grab birds out of the sky. Africa is the site of some of the world's most magnificent rivers, to include the Congo and the Nile. The Nile is the Earth's longest river. It flows over 4,000 miles. We're entering our river habitat. It contains 330,000 gallons of water, pumps 3,000 gallons a minute. Below us on the rocks, white-faced whistling ducks. They do not quack, they whistle. You'll see a lot of mallard ducks on our river too, and mallards are found in Africa, but the mallard here is strictly local. They're free to fly in and fly out at will. Sometimes they fly in. They want to stay with us because they like it. They don't know they're in a zoo. Here's a flotilla of white pelicans. The pelican can hold up to 3 gallons of water in his beak when he's fishing. The nest on the opposite shore was built by white European storks, and that is a white European stork on her nest. On the opposite bank, a white bird with a yellow beak and dark legs. That is a great egret. And he does not belong to us. He is a trespasser. He comes here to steal the pelican food. Yeah. Well, you may be wondering about those European storks. Why do we have European storks in the wilds of Africa? We have them here because they migrate from Europe to Africa every year. They spend about 9 months down there, then they fly back to Europe. That's where we get our tale of storks bringing babies. They particularly like the Alsace-Lorraine region of France. That's the Strasbourg-Colmar area. They fly in there and build those big nests on the top of people's houses. I'm not sure I'd want one on my roof, but the French consider it good luck.
We got it. You got it. The stroller.
Now looking downriver, you'll see mallards, white-faced whistling ducks, the red-headed ducks are red-crested pochards. The plain brown ducks with the blue feet are fluvius whistling ducks, otherwise known as tree ducks. the peninsula down there, you'll see some two big gray birds. Those are Stanley cranes, the national bird of South Africa. Climbing up out of our river habitat now, we'll be in our desert habitat shortly. Wow. A desert is defined as a landmass that receives 10 inches or less of rain per year. Africa is the site of the Sahara Desert, the world's largest dry desert, but there's a larger desert on Earth. You know the name of the largest desert on planet Earth. Why don't you tell me when the safari ends? Otherwise, just ask and I'll tell you. We'll enter our arid desert first, mostly sand. Desert, you're going to see a family of scimitar horned orcs, thought to be extinct in the wild. Not extinct here. The little one you see in the middle there was born in the Dallas Zoo about 8 months ago. Notice the coloring of the animals. They're perfectly camouflaged. They fit right in with a sandy background. Semi-arid desert. Sand, but lots of rock. The tan animals with the straight horns and dark markings are Gemsbok.
Wow.
Their tails look something like horses' tails. Actually, a Gemsbok can outrace a horse. Wow. And you'll also see a male ostrich. You know he's a male because he's got black feathers. These guys can get to be 300 pounds apiece, and they cannot fly, but they can run. They can run 45 miles an hour, making them the fastest two-legged creature on Earth.
Yeah.
Good trivia question for you. Most people do not know that. Please sit down. Sit down, please. Thank you.
Yes, sit down. Maybe you ask him. Yeah, sit down.
Here in the scrub, to the left in the rear, you see a dark bird on a log. That's a hooded vulture. The white bird with the yellow face is an Egyptian vulture. Here in the middle of the habitat, a bird with a brown back and a gray head. That's a Cory bustard. That translates to bird who walks. He's one of the heaviest flying birds on Earth. He can fly, but he prefers to walk. Vultures are nature's cleanup crew. They're scavengers. They eat the carrion left behind by the predators, thus serving a useful function in the wild in that they help prevent the spread of disease. Entering our bush habitat, to the left, a graceful animal that's called a Gerenuk. Translates to giraffe neck. There are two of them down there, one near the stream. It's a gazelle that can stand on its hind legs, place its front feet on the trunk of a tree, and eat the lower branches of the tree. Look at this.
There he is over there.
Continuing in our bush. Whoa! This gray animal with the vertical stripes is a greater kudu. In the background you may see some gray-crowned cranes from East Africa on the island. The little guy with the horizontal stripe is a Thompson's gazelle, otherwise known as a Tommy. Looking away in the background, you'll see some zebras. Zebras are only found in Africa. Those are grubby zebras. the largest and most endangered of 7 zebra varieties. Just before you get to the zebras, some large dark birds, those are lappet-faced vultures.
Yeah, they are.
The bird with the gray back and the white chest is a marabou stork. The stork is a scavenger. Many times found eating with the vultures. I may have mentioned that zebras are only found in Africa.
Yeah, you barely.
No two zebras are marked the same. Each zebra has its own stripe pattern, even if it is of same variety as another zebra which looks very similar. Thus, the zebra is individualized by its stripes, much as we're individualized by our fingerprints. Leaving the bush, we're descending into chimpanzee forest. Now, lots of folks think chimpanzees are monkeys. But chimpanzees are not monkeys, they are great apes. Do you know the difference between a monkey and an ape? If so, why don't you tell me when the safari ends? But if you're puzzled and curious, just ask, and I'd be pleased to tell you. Chimpanzees are very smart. They can use rudimentary tools. They communicate with each other through screeching and hooting, beating on logs, and facial expressions. They're one of the only species on Earth that can recognize themselves in a mirror. Can you think of another species that can do that?
Gorilla.
Just on the other side of the habitat, beyond the moat, you see part of our gorilla trail. That's a good place to spend a few leisure time. Maybe getting a few big photos. We're descending now toward Crocodile. Can get to be 18 feet long and weigh 1,800 pounds. They are not, however, the largest crocodile on Earth. That honor goes to the Australian saltwater croc. And awesome.
Oh, there's one. Look at that. Right here.
Passing now in front of our wattle train. Named because of the wattle under their chest. These are Africa's largest cranes. Nobody knows what that wattle is for, and the cranes ain't talking. We're now going to pass in front of our western lowland gorilla habitat, which covers 2 acres. We don't send our trains through there because gorillas, though intelligent, are shy and easily startled. We have numerous lookouts along the gorilla trail for you, plus a gorilla research station almost entirely enclosed by glass. If you go into this building, you're going to feel like you're in the habitat with the gorillas. Now, if you've not walked the gorilla trail, I'd urge that you do so. Aside from the gorillas, there are things on it that you simply cannot see from our monorail, such as the saddle-billed stork, and my favorites, the meerkats. Just take a right as you exit the monorail station. You'll be on the gorilla trail. It's about a 20-minute walk. You may even get to see a rock hydrax, which looks something like a guinea pig, but is actually related to the elephant. Go figure. The stony enclosure you see below is our mandrill habitat. You can't see them from up here. You need to see them from the path below. Mandrills are monkeys. They're the Earth's largest monkey and they're endangered. You can usually pick out a mandrill because it has a brilliantly colored face and rear end. The male is more more so than the female. Coming around the bend, we approach Penguin Cove. African penguins prefer their bathwater to be between 50 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, unlike their Antarctic cousins. These are endangered birds, and we're lucky to have them. The little bullets can't fly, but they can certainly swim. And if you visit Penguin Cove, you'll probably see them swimming with sea blackbirds or pool glass off. They're very entertaining. Now look across the plaza, you may see our lesser flamingos, so named because they're smaller than other flamingos. They're smaller than the ones we have in Zoo North, and I hope you visit Zoo North at the original Dallas Zoo. They have tigers. Tigers do not come from Africa. Zoo North also has a children's zoo, the Bird Reptile House, and Buck U, which is an exhibit of insects. Don't miss that Bird Reptile House. They have albino alligators, white alligators, ghost of the swamp. Well, thanks for visiting with us today. I want to invite you back. Our exhibits change continually.
Rescue, somebody should make it.
If you return next week, you may see something you didn't see this week. Now we're going to pull in. We'll slow and stop. Please keep your seats until I open the doors behind